Okay, so especially if you've been in church a lot, especially a verse like this, you're going to hear it the same way every single time in English. But when you're doing it in ASL, there's not one specific way that's right. So you're like, I may sign it one way, the lady on the video signed it a different way, Cal is signed it a different way, McCall is signed it a different way.
Okay.
But they're all,
As long as they're saying
as long as
that.
they're conceptually.
Okay. But you can do it in so many ways. Like
Yeah.
she didn't even use the word star or the sign star. She just showed star, because this can also mean it's showing it visually. Someone like the lady in the video is going to say stars and not use this.
Yeah.
So it's still the same meaning.
Yeah. There's not the standardized exposure. I mean, there's different versions of like interpreting the Bible, but there's not one that every deaf person uses that everybody's gonna know.
Okay.
So it's gonna vary.
So you have to do word for word.
It's
more
more
conceptual.
meaning. Yeah. And that's a lot of ASL. When you get like a long English sentence, in ASL it could be 2 signs because it's just the meaning. It's not, they're not so concerned about getting every single word right. It's, well, what does it mean? It's easier to understand that way.
So the sign singing is like that then. So like if someone were to sing, they wouldn't necessarily sign sing every word, they might go with the concept.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. That's why you might hear words
Okay.
and you're going,
That didn't match. But
well,
this
they're
is
kind
supposed
of,
to.
looks like they're moving on or they're lagging behind because they're just making it conceptual.
And
That's so helpful.
if I were, say, for some reason I wanted to make sure that it looked like, say, future I'm an interpreter, I want to make sure like I'm interpreting for a preacher and he's doing this, I'm going to make it more English, like very like long time ago, the beginning. God, what did he do? He created. So like the one I showed you, as compared to when, if I'm going to be expressive and artistic, I'm going to set it up and be more artistic with it as compared to when the setting is appropriate. So that's why the lady, even she was, because she had to incorporate other stuff, because like it goes on to say like, and the earth was without form and void and stuff like that, and she kind of added that in her video to make it make sense. Because if you just leave it at this, you're kind of like, okay, well, visually, because it's a visual language, it doesn't really explain it all the way.
So yeah, God created the earth. She shows.
Yeah.
Right. It's like nothing coming into being what she had showed before. She goes like this, earth. God, he did this to it and created it. It's instead of saying how you signed it, God, what did he do? He created, earth.
Yeah. Yeah. And it varies. So that's why I said it's easy to understand because you can, it's visual, but actually doing it, there's not one, this is the right way. It's like, whereas if, especially if like a church uses King James Version, like consistently, and somebody says it, it's like switches something around, you're like, no, that's not right. That's not how we hear it every single time. But it's not that way in ASL.
So you just keep adding THs after. Great.
What was pastor?
So pastor or
Okay.
preach?
Preach. Got it. And you were,
Oh,
what were you doing? Like
Yeah.
Talking.
talking. Okay.
So they're standing up there, both, reading.
Blah, blah, blah.
Sorry, that's what I do every time I see that sign. That's just being general. I think
Okay.
blah blah blah.
Right.
But yeah, so it's,
so it's all based on matching the meaning,
mhm.
matching the message.
What do you do when you get to hard text? And you don't know the
It,
meaning.
That's
more English.
That's why I was asking, is that easy or hard? At first thought people were like, oh, that looks easy, whatever.
I didn't understand that question. So
Easy, hard, which?
Or difficult.
What was the
Yeah.
question?
Difficult,
Easy.
hard, yeah.
Because this can mean hard, and it can mean like, oh, it's hard. It's difficult to think about or do
Yeah.
physically. So hard.
And that's
What was the
why,
question?
Did you think that
The signing of
the
that.
signing of that was easy or hard?
I thought the first one was easier.
yeah, so,
Like what you're doing, what she did off the video, I thought was easier in my head. But I don't know why that matters.
because she added stuff, because she
Oh.
added.
She made it more ASL.
She did more ASL and she added
Okay.
things that would have been, if you're doing,
She was
if you're doing
signed.
just Genesis
Yeah.
1 and 1, you're not given a whole lot to work with. But she added the
She
stuff
was
about the
going-
moon and the stars and the formation of the earth, which it doesn't say in just Genesis. If you're just doing Genesis 1 and 1, you're kind of like, okay.
To just sign that in
It-
English word, or in English word order, putting a sign to it,
Mhm.
is going to be so boring.
Because
Yeah.
heaven, if it was English, it's heaven. Okay, well, what if a deaf person doesn't know what the Bible is, the story, nothing? And you go heaven, they're gonna, what's heaven? Well, heaven is what? It's the planets, it's the stars, it's the sky, it's up here. So she was making that very clear that, okay, well, you know what the sun and the moon is, and you know all the planets and the stars. She's explaining what heaven is,
Yeah.
you know? So she added that because.
Yeah, and that's why church interpreting is really hard, which is why a lot of times we're like, oh, you know.
Because then you have your own personal
You know, I would say
So
heaven
hard.
is this. So.
Well,
Yeah.
I think in this case, it's talking about the sky.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, and it's all personal interpretation. Also,
Yeah.
if somebody sits down and reads the same book, we could read the same exact Bible,
And think of-
but take it a different way to make it relevant to our own. Like, we're reading the same words, but it's like, okay, he created the heaven and the earth. Well, he created everything, but I don't say he created all. She does at the very end. You know, earth, or she shows earth creates, and then
The heavens,
she does the heavens,
earth,
and then
all
all.
Mhm.
So it's all. It's a difficult task.
That's
It
why.
really is.
Yeah.
What was this again?
Earth.
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 So, like Bible and stuff like that, scriptures, what's called frozen text, which means it's going to be mostly, unless it's a different version, it's going to be the same way every time. And a lot of times if you're interpreting that or trying to sign that, it's going to be more English word order because we expect this.
Because it's
And
frozen text.
If you're going to do a true ASL, you have to add something to this because this doesn't have much. It's significant to us because there's tradition of it. We know what this signifies. But if you don't know, or there's no visual really component to this without adding the stuff after Genesis 1, 2, and on.
So it kind of evens it out for the deaf people.
Yeah.
It evens out the meaning and the understanding that they might not have because they don't,
Yeah.
have that connection to English and, sounds and all that thing that we rely on.
And you could have signed all this and we had the good voices on it.